Hey guys, what's happening? It's Sean1604 coming at you with an update on our Football Manager 2012 campaign with Celtic. Not done an update for a wee while, I've been quite busy with other things, but this is going to be quite a long catch up. So what I'm going to do, instead of going through every single game, because it has been the end of the season, rather than I was going to come back round about the halfway stage, and I didn't manage to do that. So the last thing I showed you was the draw for the Champions League. So what I'll do is I'll go through the main games, and I'll do it in a kind of format where we have some music playing in the background, and it'll just go through the actual main results, and I'll show you how we finished in all the competitions, and I'll show you a few other things and the signings that we've made and stuff like that. So here we go. Okay, so I've not been able to get my video to work the way I've wanted it to. Been really annoyed about it. I've tried to split it into different sections to show you the results and show you the highlights of the games and stuff, but it just simply won't record it properly. It won't piece together on Camtasia, which is a wee bit annoying. So instead of doing that, I'm just going to show you the results as I would have done in the actual video, and I'll piece together the first part and the last part, which I've already recorded. So if it sounds a wee bit out, then please don't blame me, please blame Camtasia. So the first thing I went through was the Champions League. So this was the first result, 1-0 away from home at Olympiacos. Really good result, 1-0, and Lee Griffiths getting on the score sheet there. Next game was an amazing result. This was probably my best result as a manager. 3-0 at home to AC Milan. Biondi, Alvin Arundel getting two. They were all headed goals, but they were still a really good result for me. Next was at home for against Benfica, 3-1. Keith Grafland getting a penalty and a free kick, really good free kick, and Agustin Guerrero getting one as well. Oscar Cardozo got one back for them to make it 2-1 at the time, but we still managed to pull through and win, so that was a really good result. So that was 3 from 3 at the time. Next was an amazing result. We won 1-0 at Benfica. Alvin Arundel getting one for us, and unfortunately Johan Mollo got injured, and he was actually out for 5 months due to a broken leg, which kind of done us in for the rest of the Champions League, because he was out for a long time. He's probably my best player, and he's also the captain and stuff, so that was a real annoyance for me, but what can you do? Next was 1-0 at home to Olympiacos. So by this point we'd pretty much secured our qualification in the next round, and we think we'd already secured the top position in the league for the Champions League, our group, so that was really good. So this was, a good result to get, even though I think we were playing a bit of a weakened team. Next result was 2-0. We lost away from home at AC Milan, but we had a pretty much second string and young under 19s players out. So you can see here, this isn't my best team, but they had a lot of their main players playing, so to only lose 2-0, I was actually pretty happy with that result, to be honest. So yeah, that put us through. I'll just show you the group if I can get to it. If we go back and go to the group here, so this is how we finished. 15 points, and AC Milan went through in second with 10, Benfica had 8, so we comfortably qualified, so I was really happy with that. That was the first time we'd got through the league, got through the group stage and got into the knockout stage, so it was really good. Unfortunately we didn't go any further. We drew Tottenham, and I was quite happy with the draw actually, because there was a few still good teams in the that I could have drew, but we got Tottenham and we lost 2-0 away from home. Both the goals were pretty stupid, to be honest, that we lost, but and we didn't really give them a good game, so I wasn't really happy with that. Gareth Bale and Dzeko getting the goals. At home we lost 1-0. We had a much better game, 5 shots on target, and the possession was much more even, so this was a better game for us, but we did lose one to Gabriel Traore or Torje. So yeah, unfortunately that was the end of our Champions League for this season. Although we do now have a better coefficient, the top place team in the league this season is going straight into the group stages of the Champions League next, not this year but the next year. So that just proves that my getting into the knockout phase has gained Celtic and Scotland a bit more reputation in this game, so that's really good. What I'll show you now is I'll show you the cups. The League Cup we won. I'll show you the two main results. We beat Rangers 4-0 away from home in the quarter final. Alvin Arndell getting one, Johan Mollo, Kiers Graflander and Agustin Guerrero getting on the score sheet, and we pretty much owned the game in terms of shots, so I was really happy with that. And in the final we had Ross County. Don't know how they managed to get there because they aren't actually really that great a team, but hey ho. We got two from Agustin Guerrero and one from an own goal from Mikael Barreto. Again, we owned the game, so pretty easy retaining of the League Cup. I think that's two now that we've won, or three, I'm not sure. In the Scottish Cup we also managed to win that. We just show you the final on that. I'm not going to run through all the games, as I said there's been a lot played. So this was 3-0 against Motherwell, who, as I said in previous videos, are supposed to be one of the main teams this season. They've underperformed. They've spent as much money as me, pretty much, just a bit less than me, because they were taken over by a consortium a couple of seasons ago, but they're still not performing the way they would probably like to. We beat them pretty comfortably. Edelson getting on the score sheet and Agustin Guerrero getting another 2 goals. He's proved his worth, to be honest, for what I've paid for him, 9 million, but he's scored a lot of goals and he's proved that he's worth it. So that one is the Scottish Cup. The Premier League, we pretty much coasted that. I'm not going to run through all the games, to be honest, because there's quite a lot, but we pretty much coasted that. I'll just show you the end table. So we ended up on 95 points. Rangers had 67, so we won it by 28 points, so pretty comfortable. And London United in third with 64. Motherwell didn't even make it in the top half. They finished on 54, plus 85 goal difference, so we comfortably deserved to win this. Only lost 5 games, drew 2, so I was really happy with that. A lot of those games that we lost were after Champions League games, so there was a bit of fallout from them. So that kind of proves why we lost them. So yeah, we managed to do the treble this season, which is really good, and we also got a bit further on the Champions League, so really happy with how the team's progressing. I'll just show you now the how I was actually wanting to show something in terms of jobs that I'd been offered. I'll quickly go to that. These are the jobs that I've been linked with or been offered in my time here. I've been keeping a note of them since Chile offered me the national team job, Palermas, River Plate, Espanyol, Botafogo, Bayer Leverkusen, Werder Bremen, American Mex, Hannover 96, Fiorentina, Tigres, Braga, Dinamo Moscow, Real Valladolid. Just recently I was linked with Juventus and Man United, so really high class teams there that I've been linked with. So it just shows how good my manager standing is becoming, because we're doing a bit better in the Champions League, so that's really good. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that we really need to show at the moment. I'll probably show you the awards for last season. Let's have a wee look here. So yeah, we'll go to Player of the Year Football Writers first of all. So Agustin Guerrero won that. He ended up with 24 goals and 27 appearances in the league. The Manager of the Year for the 4th year running was myself, with 845 manager points, 85% win ratio, 97 goals, 14 conceded, so that was really good. Player of the Season was John Fleck for Rangers. Not really sure how he managed to beat these two guys because their average rating was better for Prestia and Alvin Arundel, so I'm not really sure how he won it, to be honest, but well, hey ho, as I say. Player of the Year was Lee Griffiths. He got 20 goals and 12 assists in 30 appearances, so he was really good this season for me. Great buy. His worth has went up to about 2.6 million now. I bought him for about 1.6, so it just shows how good he's getting. Team of the Year, not actually looked at this. Dennis Apaya for us, Giuseppe Prestia, Alvin Arundel, Lee Griffiths, Agustin Guerrero all getting in there for me, so that was really good. Top goal scorer was, obviously, as I say, it was Agustin Guerrero for the league actually as well, 24. Second was Lee Griffiths for 20, and third was Killian Sheridan, who's playing for Hibs now. And I'll go to this just to show you, not really important, under 19s. I'm not sure how my under 19 players aren't actually in this, because they're actually playing really well again. They won the league again this season, so I'm not really sure how that works. Writers Manager of the Year again was me for the 4th year running. Writers Young Player of the Year was Dennis Apaya, so that's a bit more, he's 22 years old, he wins the Young Player of the Year, so that's pretty good. Young player of the season was my goalkeeper, Matej Delak. So he only let in not very many goals actually. It's not 0, that's a mistype. So he let in about 19 or 20 or something. So it was a really good season for him. And young player of the year was Kees Graafland, who's my young phenom central midfielder, amazing player. So yeah, I'm looking forward to how he develops. The only thing I'm going to show you is Agustin Guerrero's overall stats for his, if we go into history. So this was in the league, he scored 24 and 28. If we count everything else, he did actually score about 46 goals and 48 appearances or something, so pretty amazing. I was really happy with that. Definitely worth the money that I paid for him. So the next thing we're going to jump on to now will be the transfers. Up to the beginning of the season, there's been some outgoings and some incomings as well, some pretty big outgoings, so I'll show you them and show you what's happened. Okay, so you can see the incomings and outgoings here. There are still a few that we're debating on at the moment. We've still got some money to spend and some wages to spend, but I'll go through the ones that we have got already. I'll go through the incomings first of all. So we've got Benjamin Kalschur coming from, I think it was HSV German team, and this guy looks like he could be a really quality player. He's gone into my starting, or he won't be going into my Andor's team. He's got the potential to be a really good player, and he's already got pretty good stats, so he'll be going straight into the probably either reserves or being on the bench or something like that, but it looks like he could be a really good player, so that was a good signing. Second, Florian Martin, not too bad potential, 3.5 star. His stats look okay, he's only 17, so he'll be going into the under 19s team along with a few other people. We'll see how he develops. Next we've got Lionel Kasama, another 19-year-old. I think we've kept him in the main squad as well. I think he's probably good enough to play in the main squad. He is 19, so he wouldn't really fit in the under 19s team at the moment, so I'm going to keep him and see how he develops. He's also got 3.5 star. Next we have wrong thing. If I could click on the right bloody button, there we go. Next we have Vaclav Dosic, who is probably one of the main signings, 1.2 million, 4-star potential. He as well will also be straight into the not the starting 11, but he will be fighting for a place. He is good enough, he's got really good stats already for a 19-year-old. Good heading, good tackling, good work rate, determination, bravery, stamina, strength, jumping, everything you would really want from a central defender. I think he's also about 6'4", so he's a good big tall centre back, so he's going to prove to be really useful, I think, coming in the next few seasons, and hopefully this season as well. He might make an impact, so that was a good one. Next, who do we have? We've got Pablo Beltran. I did take this guy on loan from Atletico Madrid, and I ended up getting for only 120 grand, and he does look like he could be a decent attacking midfielder, so I have lost a couple of players, and I'm trying to get rid of a few players, so he's going to fit a mould that I need at the moment, so he's pretty good. Also got Silvio Paletta, who is another one of the main signings, 3.5 star potential, but he was 4-star I think when I was looking at him, so he could be a really good attacking midfield on the right hand side. I'm lacking that at the moment, so I've got him in. I do have Alaman in there playing at the moment, but I think this guy could develop to be a really good player. He's got some good stats, good acceleration, pace, technique, so he could be a really good player. And next we have a loan signing coming in from Chelsea, one of my feeder clubs. This guy could be pretty good for my team just as a backup. Probably never be able to sign him, but they did send him on loan to me because I'm a feeder team. Next we've got the free transfers that came in at the end of these guys' contracts. A lot of them came in from Saint Etienne because they got relegated in the French league, so a lot of their players just decided to leave, so I took a few of them. So striker Marvin Castex, 500 grand he's worth, so should be pretty good. I think I've put him into the under 19 team to begin with and see how he develops. Next we've got a free guy that came in from Tottenham, 3.5 star potential, another striker. He's always in the B reserves and he'll be a backup to our main strike force at the moment. Suleiman I can't say that, I'm not even going to try, I'm horrible with French names. Next we have Frederic Favre, 2.5 star potential. He's a left back, so I was lacking on a few left backs, so we'll see how he develops. He might be one of the ones that we end up selling off though, so we'll see. Next we've got Alec Douar, another 2.5 star potential guy. Thought I might as well take a punt on him. He thought like it would look like he's got decent enough stats and he could develop. He's only 18 as well, so we'll see how he gets on. Next we've got Jean-Baptiste Traoré, 2.5 star potential as well, another left back. We're lacking on young left back, so we've got 2 of them in now to see how they develop. We'll probably lose one of them over the coming seasons, so we'll see which one is good enough to stay in the team. And last but not means least, Mathieu Miquel, a good attacking midfielder, already got really good stats for an 18-year-old. He'll be a backup to the first team as well, I think. First touch, free kick taking, penalty taking, good pace, and we'll see how he develops. I think he'll be a really good player. Next we'll show you the outgoings. Few players left on free: Lewis Torchney, Brian Palares, Denny Johnson. They're all young boys that weren't really cutting the mould. Showed Kevin Fressenbeckler to Dunfermline for 30k. He wasn't really cutting it, and decided to let him go. Monty Gimple, I was a wee bit debating on this guy, but he doesn't have the stats to be a central defender, and he's not got the stats to be a defensive mid really. So I didn't really know what to do with him. You can see that his tackling's not that great, his jumping's really poor, his strength isn't really good, so he's not good enough to be a central defender. He was okay as a backup. He's got the good stats that he could be a good defensive mid, but I didn't really need him in my team. I've got other people that can fill that role. Phil McKinley went on a free transfer, so did Mike Gilmore. This was a big one that I had to let go. His contract was ending in a year, and I didn't want to pay him how much money he was looking for, so I got 7.75 million for Matej Delac. I thought that was a really good piece of business. I bought him for 9 million, so we've kind of made a bit of a loss, but he was good in the time he was here, and I've got a few other keepers that could potentially come in and do a job for me, and if they're not good enough, then I'll look around and see if I can get someone else. James Forrest wasn't getting a game, decided to sell him. His contract was coming to an end as well, got £1 million for him, so that was pretty good business. And this was a poor one. We had to let Emilio Izaguirre go for free. He was wanting 50 grand a week. He decided to settle for 15 grand at Torino, but I wasn't willing to give him the amount of money he was wanting to stay at the club, so decided to let him go. We do have a couple of other backups that can come in and play left back. And lastly, Keko, he's a decent player, but again, we've got other players that can fit the role that he was playing, so we'll see. He got a 525 grand for him, so not too bad business there either. So that's the incomings and outgoings. That's pretty much everything for this video. I've went through all the games, showed you the main highlights. We'll come back again. I'm hopefully going to try and start doing monthly reviews if that's what you guys prefer. If you post comment below and let me know, I'll try and do monthly reviews and go through as I've done, show you all the goals from every game instead of just some of the games, so you can see how we're getting on in the Champions League and all the different competitions. I think that's hopefully going to be the way forward, but please comment, post, rate, subscribe below, and thanks for your time guys. Cheers, bye.